Hey everyone, I'm Serena with SerenaFit, and I wanted to talk to you about the 5 pillars of fat loss today. So, get this question often, and I think it's important to remind yourself of the factors that play into fat loss versus weight loss. So, let's talk about number one. That's going to be calorie deficit. So, if you're eating well over 1,800, 2,000, 2,500 calories, you're going to end up gaining weight, right? Not all calories are created equal. That's probably another video, but so as long as you're focusing on the 3 macros, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that fit your weight loss goals or your macros, then you should be safe in terms of your calories. So my personal calorie goal is around 1,650, and that takes into account like a 250 to 450 calorie deficit, depending on how much I'm working out that day. So you have to factor in your workout regimen and your output, so you're not eating too little also. So you have to work with a professional to kind of figure this out. Ask a coach or someone in the community, or even search online to try to figure out what your macros are, so you kind of know what that calorie goal should look like. Number 2 is protein intake. So you want to, of course, if you're working out and you're trying to transition fatty muscle tissue into lean muscle mass, we have to be sure we are building our muscles up with the protein intake. So you can get protein from a vegetarian diet through a lot of the vegetables or beans. And if you're carnivore, of course, you're going after the lean quality meats like the chickens, turkeys, things like that. We're not going after anything less than 90% when it comes to any ground meats. So being sure your protein intake is well above 90 grams. If you're a male, it's going to be a little higher than that, but that minimum target for most folks, 90 grams. And when you're getting in more protein, you're not going to be craving other things. You're going to be satiated, you're going to be full. So keep that in mind. Number 3 is lifting weights. So a lot of people think cardio, you have to like run miles and miles and miles to see definition or what have you, but really lifting weights is key. And I love lifting weights. We're not talking super heavy. You can build into over time, but ask yourself today, are you lifting at least 2 or 3 times a week? If not, try to hit that 3 times a week mark. If not 5, quick circuits count 2, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You don't need to be in the gym all hours of the day or at home lifting weights all the time. But we want to put stress on the muscles to change them. If you're doing the same thing all the time, your body's going to get used to that stress, and you're not going to be burning as many calories, and the muscles aren't going to be challenged the way that we want them to be. So be sure you're lifting weights in some shape, in some capacity. Okay. Next would be sleep. Sleep is huge. Okay. We need to be sure our adrenals are kind of balanced. We're not staying up super late. We're not doing any late night snacking. We want to create a routine. So whatever you can do to be sure you're ensuring a quality night's sleep, please do. I sleep with an eye mask. I sleep with a sound machine. I turn my computer off, all cell phones off by 8:30. And I read and journal and meditate. And that's been crucial into my sleep. And I also feel that cutting off the eating at least 3 hours before bed really makes my sleep more quality. I'm not active. My body's not awake trying to digest a whole bunch of food late at night, right before bed. Doesn't keep me awake. So get yourself into the routine to segue into a great night's sleep, and you'll feel a lot better. And then the 5th one is cardio. So we do want to work on cardiovascular conditioning. The muscle is a heart. We want it to be beating strong. We want it to be pumping blood strong. It is a muscle though. So for me, I love my circuit training. You guys know that for my online workouts. And when you have a great circuit on deck, you basically are working in a short amount of time, short periods of time, and then you're resting for even shorter periods of time. So my favorite go-to is 45 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That transition right there is challenging for your body to keep up with. And during the first few rounds or the first few workouts that you do in this format, you'll feel yourself maybe huffing and puffing, but that's good. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You can also do interval runs. When I'm in the neighborhood running, I like jog in between each mailboxes. So I'd like hit or depending on what I'm doing, whatever the interval is, it could be sprint and walk, or it could be jog, walk, or it could be jog, sprint, whatever it is, it's the interval. So you're changing it every few seconds or every few minutes. And that's what peaks calorie burn too, and fat loss essentially. So you're getting your heart rate up and down and like a lot of different intervals in a short amount of time. So that's great cardio conditioning, and you'll feel good, getting from point A to point B, walking upstairs, and then just being an active human in everyday life. So those are your 5. We have calorie deficit, number 1. Number 2, protein intake. Number 3, lifting weights. Number 4, quality sleep. Number 5, cardio. And think that at the bottom, we have our calorie deficit, and at the top, we have cardio. So the top 3 things you should be focusing on is the calorie deficit, the protein intake, and the lifting weights. So ask yourself, are you doing that? If not, what can you do to get that in there? I can help you out with lifting weights and a little bit of the nutrition aspect. So go to SerenaFit.com or follow me at SerenaFit Studios on Instagram, and we can talk more about fitness. Hopefully this video helped you. Feel free to subscribe and like below, share with friends, and we'll see you at your next workout. Good luck.